secure the Mule application using the Java key store. So how you can have this mutual authentication or one way or two way SSL, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that will be covered in this. Next is design TLS communication and other network security options for the integration use case. That's also the same thing, the TLS or SSL, that will come under the same thing. Otherwise, in case you want to have this on application level, not on HTTP or in the interface only, you want to have this, then you need to have a DLB, that is your dedicated load balancer. In dedicated load balancer you will be adding your certificates, right? Next
Mm-hmm.
is your distinguish between the various cloud hub deployments with the load balancers. Okay. Next is properly size and any point VPC. Okay, to support the deployment of all expected Mule applications. Okay. So the first part is your understanding the Java key store. So you know the difference between key store and trust store.
Yeah, can you explain one more time?
In the last class only I explained. Like with the word trust, you need to remember this by the word trust. Trust means whom you can whom you can trust, whom you can think that yeah they are reliable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here
Okay.
also it's the same thing. Trust store means whom you are going to trust. Okay. So the server will be storing the certificates of all the websites or all the other servers whom they are going to trust. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Key store is my own certificates. That means that server's certificate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That means your own certificates in key store and the partner certificates in your trust store. Clear?
I have one question. So in the key
Okay.
store, we have like
Mhm.
public and also private, yeah?
Yes, yes. One key, private and public. Yes,
So like we share public certificate uh,
yes,
for others and we can't share private key. So how
yes.
we are differentiate like trust store with this one? Like it looks
Hmm.
similar. It looks
Uh,
similar, the point.
no, 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 no. Let me tell you. Let me open Paint again.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say this is your own certificate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry. This is your own server where you have deployed your Mule applications. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is your server. That is server A. You are going to hit one endpoint that is called www.abc.com.
Uh-huh.
abc.com. Pardon for this spelling mistakes or handwriting basically. Okay. Another endpoint is www.pqr.com. And another one is your www.xyz.com. Okay. So let's say this one doesn't require any security. You can hit this without certificates doesn't matter here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that means here you don't need key store, not trust store. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
next is this one. So let's say it says that I just want one way SSL.
Okay.
One way SSL, what you will be doing, you you give your public key
Yeah.
to this www.pqr.com. Okay, so that server is going to store your public key at their end.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
where they will be storing, they will be storing in their trust store.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
This is called one way SSL. You are providing your public key and they are storing this in their trust store.
Okay.
Clear? Next is two way SSL. You provide your public key, they this XYZ will store your public their your public key in their trust store, and
Okay.
this XYZ will provide its own public key to you, and you are going to store that public key in your trust store. So you are
Okay.
saying that you are going to trust this server, and this server is also saying that it is going to trust your server. Correct? Got it?
Okay. Yep. Yep. Got it.
So this is called one way, this is two way. Okay. And now you are
Okay.
able to like differentiate between key store and trust store. Key store means own certificates. For
Yeah.
XYZ, the certificates for this server xyz.com, that will remain in the key store. Okay. But if
Okay.
they want to trust us, that Salesforce, let's say they want to trust the Salesforce, so they are going to save the Salesforce certificates in their trust store. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So with whom you want to connect, that will stored in the trust store, and your own thing in the key store. That's the difference. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, let's go back. A key store stores the public certificates plus corresponding private keys because it is your own certificate, right?
Okay. Okay.
Credentials for the clients or the servers in the Mule application, wherever you want to deploy this application basically. Okay.
Okay.
Next is the Java key tool can be used to create these key stores. Okay. So you can search on the Google also. With the key tool, you can create your own certificates that are self-signed certificates. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So there are some commands for the key tools. Okay. That you can use and you can create those certificates, public key and private key. And then enter those public key and private key in the key store .jks file. Okay. Next is
Mhm.
public certificates in the key store have a certificate chain associated with them. Okay. So always your public key is like your certificate basically. Okay. So
Mhm.
there will be a chain. Okay. So chain will be like CA certificate, then intermittent certificate. Let me write this. Control. Oh, sorry. My bad. Right. This looks different. I think uh, someone updated the windows. Yeah. Okay. So the chain will be like what's happening? Yeah. So chain will be like you will be having one CA. Okay. CA like GoDaddy and all. You are aware of GoDaddy. There are so many CAs. Okay. So there will be one
Mhm.
CA certificate, authorized certificate. Okay. This
Yeah. Uh-huh.
CA certificate will be having intermittent certificate. Okay. And in intermittent certificate, your own certificate, that particular certificate will be there, that public key.
So which means say we give us authorization. They
Yes,
approved our
yes.
interface. Yeah.
So these are the authorities. These are the famous
Uh,
authorities that signs that your certificate that yes, this is authorized. This certificate is correct. Okay. So CA
uh,
certificate will be there. Under the CA, there are so many intermittent. Okay. So intermittent certificate will be there. Okay. So inside GoDaddy, there will be let's say some departments and all, then intermittent certificate, and then you are having your own certificate like that. Okay. Either this chain needs to be followed, or what you can have self signed certificate, you can sign your own certificate. Okay. But there
uh,
are so many websites and all which don't allow self signed certificate, so you will not be able to connect to them. Okay. Because
okay.
for the safety purpose it should be authorized by some CA party. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Okay.
this chain needs to be followed. If the chain is not followed, then you can create your own certificates. This is the way. With the key tool, we create our own certificates basically. Okay.
Mhm.
Public certificates are in the key store have the certificate chain associated with them. Okay. With which authenticates the corresponding public key. Okay, so in TLS, the key store determines the credentials, your public certificate sent to the remote host. That means uh, you will be providing your public key to your partners. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
How trust stores are created and used in any one platform and application. So the Java key tool is used to create the trust store as well. Okay, you can create the trust store as well. The trust store contains the public certificates. It could be self-signed or from CA. Okay, from the remote hosts. That means other parties, your partners, whichever with whom you are going to connect basically. Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
perhaps also the signing certificates. So let's say if they are having whole chain, that means for for each partner you will be having three certificates. That is CA, then intermittent, and your uh, that public key, the normal one. Okay,
What is the third one? The middle intermittent. So is that
intermittent
a kind of
certificate.
certificate?
Intermittent
Oh,
certificate. Let me show you. Let's
uh,
certificate. J- what So CA certificate is also called root certificate, basically. Okay.
mhm.
So they haven't provided the correct way. Is there any image? Root certificate, see, root certificate, intermittent certificate, and your end entity certificates. Okay.
Okay. So okay, I have confusion. Once we create our certificate, say we give us authorization for our certificate.
Yes, yes. Your certificate
Okay.
needs to be signed by some intermittent party, and then by your uh, that CA. Okay,
Only signed by the road.
like this.
Okay. Okay. So this root certificate means
Your
uh,
main authority. That is like GoDaddy. Okay.
okay, they will give us permission. So why we need intermittent in the middle?
This for certificate chain. No, no, this is the whole procedure. Let's say there is a student in the class. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if students want to organize some event in the school, right? So what he will do?
Yeah.
He will ask his teacher, correct?
Yes,
Then
first.
his
Yeah.
teacher will ask the principal of the school, correct? Similarly it
Correct. Yes.
goes here. Okay, similarly the student is going to ask teacher, and then it will ask your principal. Same thing is going to be followed here. Your root is
Oh,
principal here, and your intermediate is your teacher, and the student is your end entity.
okay. Final. Okay. Oh, got it now.
Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah.
mm, how does the CA certificates work? uh, I want to provide you some examples. Valid root CA certificates. Let me check if they have provided any example. But according to me, GoDaddy is there. Mm, 1 second. Uh, it's, the screen is not working. I'm not going to, not able to scroll. Examples of certificate authorities. GeoTrust, Symantec, Komodo. Okay, so these are the CAs. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
GoDaddy is also there according to me. Okay, we can check that. Okay, let's go back to the class. Okay, so yep, understanding the Java trust store. The key store owners, okay, that means you. If owner trusts the public certificates, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
contain in its trust store to identify the other parties. So whatever I explained, that's it. Okay, that is the same thing.
Okay.
Whoever you are going to trust, you will be storing those certificates in the trust store. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's the same. Each other party must use the correct corresponding private key. Okay, so if you are trusting some party, that means you are going to have their public certificate at your end, correct? And they will be having public and private both certificates at their end, their own certificates, correct? So if you are going to sign anything, you will be signing the things by their public certificate, correct? And they will decrypt that with their private key, correct? Understood?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, yes.
Each private key is not stored in the trust store and is usually not available to the trust store owner. As I said that only the private public key should be shared. Okay. So public key should be used for the encryption and private key will be used for the decryption. Okay.
Okay.
In TLS, the trust store determines whether the credentials, the public certificates sent by the remote host are trusted. Hence, if the secure connection can be established or not. The same thing, whatever I explained. Okay, that means two-way SSL wala.
Okay.
Okay. Implementing TLS communication in the Mule application. So I was just explaining what is key store. Like this was explaining just the key store and the trust store. Now how to implement that. Okay. So HTTP connectors, anypoint connectors that support TLS connections are your HTTP, HTTPS client and server, correct? One way and two way, both TLS communications are supported. SFTP
Mm-hmm.
also support the same thing. That means you can add certificates, key store and trust store in the SFTP as well. In
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
SMTP, clients also and TCP sockets, client and server and JMS and JDBC also. Okay, in these you
Mm-hmm.
have this option. Okay, so next is uh, like one way TLS. So one way TLS I have already explained the same thing, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
So we can skip this. Configuring one way TLS, this is also the same thing. You can see that in the trust store we are just saving the customer's certificate, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Or whatever we are doing, we are storing our certificates here and we will be providing the public key to customer. Okay, so there are two
Okay.
ways of configuring this one way TLS. Okay, either from their end, either from our end. Okay, one way server and one way client. Okay,
Yep.
next is two way TLS. That's also I have explained. That means you need to define both the things, your own certificates also and the trust store. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
this is the uh, two-way TLS. Okay, that means you need to provide both the things. See, in both the cases, in the client also, in the server also, you are providing both the stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Next is externalizing a Mule runtime certificate. So we created the certificates now. Now, how you are going to externalize that certificate? Okay. A customer hosted Mule runtime can externalize the certificates to the folder outside the Mule home location. Okay, so when you are deploying your code on a customer hosted Mule runtime, not on Cloud Hub. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you can
Yeah.
externalize those certificates. You can put that certificates in one directory and you can provide the path of that directory in this file, wrapper file. Correct?
Okay. Mm.
You
Mm-hmm.
remember that settings file where we are providing all the settings, wrapper.conf, right?
Right. Right. Correct. Yes, I remember.
So here we will be providing the certificate directory where we are keeping all the certificates. Okay. So that is
Mm-hmm.
called externalizing. Next is externalizing the certificates in Mule runtime with the secret manager. Okay, so secret manager is also there. I think it is used in runtime fabric. Okay, secret manager can be used to store and control the access to the private keys, passwords, your certificates, and other secrets. Okay, currently secret
Mhm.
manager is only supported for customer hosted mule runtime in runtime fabric. That means it is for RTF and API manager with HTTPS secured API proxy.
Mhm.
Okay, so whenever you open that anypoint platform, you have seen that there is one option for secret manager as well.
Okay.
Okay, I think you haven't seen that. I have seen that, but I haven't opened that because there was no need for me to use that. But let me open that for you. Okay,
Okay.
any point platform. Okay, this is not a login. This is login. No, 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 no. This is not login. Okay, okay. By mistake, I think I opened this binge. This is not correct. Okay. Just give me a second. I need to bring my phone. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, neutral. Yes. So, yep. Here you can see secret manager is there. Okay. I think this is not available for the trial version. I'm not that sure. You can also check if it's there or not. This is not my trial version. This is my Salesforce version. Salesforce
Oh,
client. Secret manager has enabled for you with the use with the runtime fabric. See, you can see that here. It says
mhm.
that it will be used for any point runtime fabric only. Okay.
Okay.
So you can create a secret group where you can provide your key store, trust store, certificates, and everything. Okay. See on the left hand side, you
Yep.
are able to see.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move to the this one again. Okay. Currently, this is only for your RTF. On other unsupported deployment platforms, a custom certificate management solution could be used or created. Okay, so you can create another custom certificate like a directory or something as well. Whether you are deploying it to the cloud hub or somewhere, like say you are storing those certificates in one folder of your application only, right? So you can
Mhm.
try it out. Like you can create your own applications at all. Next is designing Cloud Hub network security option. So this was application security basically, right? Now we will see network security, how we are going to secure the network.
Mhm.
Introducing VPC. So you are aware of VPC, Virtual Private Cloud?
Virtual private cloud. I know some uh,
Mm-hmm.
points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can explain me. Just revise.
Okay. Say you are going to a hotel. Okay, so in a
Mm-hmm.
hotel you can see there are so many rooms and there is one lobby as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? So VPC is like you have booked your own room in the hotel. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
hotel is public, everyone can come in the lobby and use that lobby. Correct? Correct. Hello,
Can you
John,
repeat
you are
for me?
able to hear me? Yes. Okay, so I was
Yes, yes.
saying, let's say you visit one hotel.
Okay.
Okay, so in hotel you have so many rooms, right? And you
Okay.
have a lobby as well. Okay,
Okay.
so everyone has a access to the lobby, anyone can go in the lobby, right? Anyone can go in the
Correct.
reception and lobby and sit
Mm-hmm.
there and do anything, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the room that you have booked in the hotel, no one can go there. Correct? You have the keys for that hotel room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Correct? So that
Correct.
hotel room is a VPC, virtual
Okay.
private cloud.
Okay.
Okay, so in
Okay.
the whole cloud, that whole hotel, you are just booking a particular room for you. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
that room doesn't belong to you, you have just booked that room, right? That belongs to the hotel. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we will be having a cloud like AWS, we will be having a cloud like Azure or a Google Cloud,
Mm-hmm.
correct? In that, we will be having VPCs. That means our virtual cloud. That means that whole cloud, that AWS will be a hotel, and you are booking one room that will be called as VPC. Correct?
Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep.
So this is VPC, virtual private cloud. That's not your own cloud, that is their cloud only, but you have booked this place for yourself. No one can come and go there. Okay, only you can come. It will be used by you only. Okay, and
So
it's
you will
secure.
pay for this, yeah?
Yes, you are going to pay for that. You will be going to pay more than that, right? In the lobby, anyone can come, right? But for
Mm-hmm.
this one, you have to pay more, like, correct?
Okay. Okay.
And the
Yep. Yep.
lobby, or you can say, let's, there is a, shared room, a big shared room, anyone can come there and can
Mm-hmm.
it's like a dormitory. Okay, anyone can
Correct.
go there, right? So you want your own room, separate room, so you have a VPC. But if you are going to use the dormitory, it will be like a cloud hub. Clear?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Right.
So any point VPC can create a private and a isolated network in the cloud. Same thing. Okay. So in the
Okay.
whole hotel, you will be having your private space that is called your
Mm-hmm.
room, hotel room. Okay. To host the cloud hub workers. Okay. Mule application deployed to VPC can communicate with each other using the private network address. Okay, that means whoever will be having the key of that room, only those can access that room. Only those can enter in that room or go outside that room. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the same thing. Okay, try to understand each and everything with the practical examples. Whenever you will be able to relate the things with the practical examples, then your concepts will be clear. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
so how a VPC isolated network is typically used. Okay, so this is what VPC is. Now how it is being used. So host your application in the VPC and take the advantages of DLPs. Okay. So whatever you have done, you have just created your own room. Okay. Now you want a DLB also. DLB is you want your own certificates, you want your own like domain name and everything should be written. Okay. So
Okay.
for
Okay.
our example, let's say you want that have you ever seen that companies, most of the big companies take the space in WeWork or in some shared buildings, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right, so they are putting their own name outside that building, that this is
Mm-hmm.
our company and all. correct? So
Mm-hmm.
this is
Yep.
also
Yep.
the same thing. So in that building, they are just taking the rent, giving the rent for uh, one floor, let's say, and for that floor they are adding their own company name and all everything. So that
Right.
company name and that own thing, that will be called the DLBs. Okay, so they are not
Okay.
using the shared load balancer. That means
Mm-hmm.
they are not using the whole building name. Okay, they are
Mm-hmm.
using their own name. That's the thing,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Okay. Yep. Yep.
So configure customized firewall rules. Okay, so they have their, let's say, for going to that particular floor, they are having one security guard there. Okay, which is checking one access card. Okay, whether you are
Yeah.
having access card, then only you can enter, otherwise you cannot enter. So that's the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. That means you are adding the customized firewall rules. Okay, so you are
Mm-hmm.
having your own rules and regulations or on your own security there. Okay, that who
Okay.
can enter in that floor or who cannot enter. Okay, so
Okay.
open other ports besides 8081 and 8082. So you can also like open the ports other than 8081 and 8082. In the Cloud Hub, you have already seen that only 8081 and 8082 is used. Whenever you are using 8081, that means it will be routed to your port number 80, correct? And
Yep.
8082 will
Right.
route your request to 443, right? So here you
Yes.
can use other ports as well. Okay, block
Mm-hmm.
the direct connection to the Cloud Hub workers over port 8081 or 8082. So you can open other port numbers. You can even block 8081 and 8082 entry there. Okay, so everything will be in your end, correct?
Yep.
So
Right. So
allow or restrict. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
so
Ask.
like you mean like 8081 and 8082 are
Yes.
default for uh, port. Yeah. So
Yeah. These
instead
are
of this,
default ports.
we should use like 80, 85, something like that. So other than these two.
Mostly 8091 and 8092 are used. Mostly.
Okay. Okay. Yep. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So allow or restrict any other TCP or UDP ports. You can even
So
restrict
if
some
we
other
use
ports as
8081, what is the uh, so still the port is like if even if it is a port is similar.
well.
If we are using
Yes, yes.
like the other like method something like that, I don't think it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, everything will be same. You are just hitting it. Okay, let me explain
What
by
is the
this.
problem like?
Let's say this is Cloud Hub. Okay,
Yeah.
normal Cloud Hub, you have deployed your application here. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so for this, you always need to provide the port number as 80, 81 or 80, 82.
Correct.
80,
Yeah.
82 for HTTPS and 80, 81 for HTTP.
Yeah.
Correct? But
Uh-huh.
if in the Cloud Hub you have deployed your application inside the VPC,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Yeah.
So what you can do, it's up to you. You can allow 8081 also and 8082, but you can restrict them as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, just give me a second. Yep, sorry.
So if we are using other than 8081 is preferable for the VPC use, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So you can open these port or you can even close these ports. Okay, for
Okay.
private, like for VPC, your mostly the ports used are 8091 and 8092.
Okay.
8091 means your HTTP and this one is your HTTPS. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Makes
Okay, so connect a VPC to the corporate intranet. Let's say you want to connect your VPC to the intranet. So how you are going to do that? Whether on premise or in other clouds. Okay, so you can uh, connect it to with the on premise also and with other clouds also via with the your secure VPN connection. VPN connection is a secure tunnel like connection. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you are having one tunnel. Let's say what you did now in that building in which you are having your office, let's say on the fifth floor, what you did, you added one more lift in that building. Okay, that lift will only go to fifth floor.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is like a private tunnel, right?
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah.
So you can have a private tunnel, the secure network by which you are going to connect to the on-premise or to other clouds as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Next is connect to the any point VPC to private AWS VPC or this using the AWS Transit Gateway and VPC peering. So let's say your own VPC. You have created one VPC. Now you want to access another VPC, another AWS VPC. So how you can
Mm-hmm.
do that? By using the VPC peering or by using the transit gateway. Okay. Now, nowadays VPC peering is not supported, so you need to use transit gateway only.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is IPsec tunnel. So IPsec tunnel is basically used in VPN. Sorry. So IPsec tunnel with network to network communication. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
from the cloud hub, you want to connect to the on-premise data center. So what you can use, you can have a IPsec tunnel. You can create one direct connect here. So that direct connect using the IPsec tunnel. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So IPsec tunnel with network to network configuration. It provides a standard, secure way to connect to on-premise data centers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is generally the recommended solution for VPC to non-premise connectivity. Okay, for
Okay.
non-premise, no, on-premise, sorry, on-premise connectivity basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so see in the diagram also it is mentioned that for this on premise you are using this uh, VPC connect. Okay, and for AWS VPC what you are using, VPC peering. Okay, rather than this
Mm-hmm.
VPC peering, now you have to use transit gateway. So next is your transit gateway. Okay, so
Okay.
AWS transit gateway, it this is a IP level router. So this is like a router, okay, between the VPCs, multiple VPCs. Okay,
Okay.
between the VPCs, that could be either AWS VPC or either your any point VPC. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
VPNs via IPsec tunnel or
Mm.
AWS direct connect. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
here you can see this router is there, and with this router you are going to connect to this AWS VPC rather than using VPC peering. Okay, and nowadays VPC peering is not even supported. Okay, so you have to use
Oh.
transit gateway only. Okay, so traffic between all the VPCs and VPNs, okay, can be either in the either direction. Okay, so it could be either in this direction, could be incoming or could be outgoing. So it will be used for both the process, both the directions.
So,
Okay.
oh, sorry. AWS Transit Gateway is like
Yes.
common denominator, something is receive whatever. How is working like
Hmm.
so
So
between these VPs.
this AWS connect, this you need to buy it basically. Okay, so whenever you
Uh-huh.
want to connect to on premise or whenever you want to connect to another VPC, okay, then
Uh-huh.
you need to buy this AWS transit gateway. With that transit gateway only you will be able to connect to those VPCs. Okay, so this transit gateway will be like a router for you, which will route your request from one VPC to another VPC. Clear? Another
Okay.
VPC or
So,
even on premise.
for example, if you are like buying this AWS Transit Gateway, we are
Hmm.
configuring giving like which uh, VPC, like we can give like this. How do you know like one VPC is other one? How we differentiate?
This will
by
be
using
provided by your customer. Basically, this information will be provided by your customer. So here,
mm,
I think I don't have access. Let me check. I think that's not for the trial accounts, but let me check. Yeah, VPC is there. So you can create your own VPC. Okay. See here, transit gateway option is also there. So for transit gateway, you should have first your VPC. Okay, your own company VPC. Then only you will be connecting to other VPCs or on premise. Okay. I
mhm.
cannot create it now because I don't have that thing, that information. So I cannot create. Okay. And it's not
Okay,
my trial account also. So,
okay, okay,
yeah.
got it.
But these are the like from here only you can specify. Okay. So these are the
Okay,
options. In the runtime manager, you will be able to see this. Okay. So next is any point VPC connectivity. That is VPC peering, which is not, I think, not supported now. Okay. So VPC
okay.
peering is whenever you want to connect to another VPC directly
Mhm.
without using transit gateway. Okay. So you can use VPC peering at that time. But this is important point that you cannot connect one any point VPC with another any point VPC. You can connect it to another AWS VPC. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Next is AWS Direct Connect. So AWS Direct Connect is for on-premise system. Okay. So it establishes a private connection between any point VPC and on-premise data centers. Okay. That IPsec tunnel thing. Okay.
Mhm.
It provides the lower latency and more consistent network experience than the internet-based connections. Okay. AWS Direct Connect partners and the Anypoint VPCs must be located in the same region. Okay. For high availability, use multiple Direct Connect connections from different AWS Direct Connect locations. Okay. So I think this is also. I need to check. I'm not that sure that this is supported. You can check this that this is also supported or not. But yeah, this is also now go through the transit gateway. So transit
Mm,
gateway is now being used. Okay.
mm.
Next is load balancer options for Cloud Hub deployments. Let me drink water. Sorry. This is uh, 284, 284, 289. Okay, that means only 5 pages. Correct. Sorry. And please go through these security things and all. Um, the time when I was giving the exam, I got so many questions from this
Right.
module.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So load balancer options for the Cloud Hub deployments. So Cloud Hub provides a shared load balancer. This I have already explained in one of my class. Okay. So how shared
Okay.
load balancer works, right? So dedicated load balancer can also be purchased and installed in a VPC. Please note that you cannot have a dedicated load balancer without VPC. You need to have a VPC, then only you will be able to have a dedicated load balancer. Okay.
Okay.
Each DLB is provisioned in AWS and is tied to one Cloud Hub AWS region. Okay. So let's say you are having one DLB or even one VPC in US region, US East region. So if you are deploying your application to EU region, then it will not be using that DLB. Okay. So it should be in the same region. Your application needs to be deployed in the same region. Correct?
Mhm.
So next is Mule applications deployed to a AWS region and the environment associated with the VPC, and DLB can then receive the traffic from the DLB. Okay. Like the shared load balancer service, a DLB provides a DLB URL. So there will be one URL to the load balancer traffic to multiple worker. Okay. So from this DLB, your multiple workers will be connected. Okay.
Okay.
So this is when it is deployed to your shared load balancer, when your shared load balancer is being used. Okay. So how it's going to work? Your public internet is there. You are going to call one API, correct?
Okay.
You are calling this API. How you call this? HTTP. Your application name is there, and your environment will be there, and then .cloudhub.in. Correct.
Correct. Yep.
Then this request will be sent to your shared load balancer. Okay. With that shared load balancer, what is going? It's going to do with the 80. It remembers that it is deployed to 8081. With 443, it says that it is deployed to 8082. Okay. After this port mapping, okay, this request will be created. This will look like mule worker, and this is app name, and then cloudhub.io, and this port number, that will be
Mm-hmm.
8081 or 8082. Okay. Then your
Okay.
request will be sent to the VPC basically, and
Okay.
then it will use these things. Okay. So this is how this shared load balancer works and where it is residing.
Mm-hmm.
Next is where your DLB resides. Okay. So after this thing, after your request goes here and it wants to enter to the VPC, it will get failed. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, if it will come from the shared load balancer, it will fail. So because you are using DLB here, so how DLB is going to work? You are providing this URL and all. Now it will go directly inside your VPC. Okay. And in VPC you have one dedicated load balancer which is going to do the mapping, as I said, that for HTTP 8091 and for HTTPS 8092. You can even define these ports by yourself as well in the dedicated load balancer. Okay.
Okay.
But normally these two ports are being used, okay, by default. So then only your application will be called. Okay. So if you are having DLB, your request will come like this. Okay. And if you are not having DLB, your request will come from the outer internet and all. This one. Okay.
Can you repeat this? They a little confused me.
Okay.
Uh,
So
Me too.
here you are not having DLB. Dedicated
Yeah.
load balancer is not there. Okay. So
Okay.
every request will come from here, from the internet, with the
Mhm.
URL, that is your app name.cloudhub.in. Correct. And
Okay. Yeah.
we are having a shared load balancer which is in AWS
Okay.
region, which is not inside your VPC. Okay. So
Okay.
every request, either it is deployed to the VPC or it is not deployed to the VPC, the request will go through this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your request will be created like this: HTTP mule worker, then app name, then .cloudhub.io, then port number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then what you can do after that, it will go to your VPC, and whatever the firewall rules are applied, and after that it will go to your application, your API. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this is how your SLB works. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
let's say if you are having DLB. Okay. So
Mhm.
this shared load balancer will be shared by all the applications. Either those are deployed in the VPC, either those are not deployed in the VPC. Correct.
Okay.
But let's
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
if you are having your own dedicated load balancer, let's say if you are
Yeah.
having your own security guard for your
Mm.
company. Correct. So
Uh-huh.
your request, your lift will directly go to the fifth floor, correct? And whenever the
Yeah.
lift will open, the security guard will be there. He will do the checking and take you to the room wherever you want to go. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
it's like that. But if you are coming from the main gate, okay, that building's gate, then it will be shared load balancer. Okay.
Okay. Mm. Mm-hmm.
Next is properly sizing a VPC to support Mule application deployments. So how you are going to size your VPC? Okay,
Mm,
like sizing VPC is very much important. Like how many Mule applications you are going to deploy. Let's say you want to deploy 50 APIs. So how you will decide that your VPC size should be this much. Okay.
mm-hmm. Okay.
So VPC sizing. Just give me a second. Sorry. VPC sizing is fixed at point of creation. Okay. So whenever you create a VPC, you let's say in the hotel you are going to book a room, correct? You cannot say
Mm-hmm.
that like my room size, only in the first time you can say that my room size should have, it should be 3 BHK, like that. Okay, 3 bedrooms should be there, right? You
Uh-huh.
cannot just change it to 4 BHK, correct? You can change
Yep.
the room, but you cannot like change the structure of that room, particular room. So
Inside.
it's
Uh-huh.
the same thing. In the starting only, you have to decide that you have to give the size of your VPC,
Okay. Okay.
correct? So Mule applications are deployed in the Cloud Hub workers, okay, and each worker is assigned with a dedicated IP, correct?
Mm-hmm.
For zero downtime deployment, each worker in the Cloud Hub needs to have some additional IP addresses, correct?
Yep.
A few IPs in the VPC are reserved for infrastructure as well. Generally, two IPs. Okay, so for infrastructure also, for this room entry and exit also, you are having one key, like that. Okay, you are having one
Mm-hmm.
IPs. The IP
Mm-hmm.
addresses are usually in the private range with the subnet block specifier, such as 10.0.1/24. Okay, so
Okay.
the smallest CIDR network subnet block you can assign to your VPC 24. That means 256 IP addresses. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just one second. Yes, 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 yes. So how it is being calculated? So the formula is basically, let me tell you the formula. So the formula is 2 with power 32 minus n. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the smallest is 24. That means n is equal to 24. Right.
24.
So here
Yeah.
the value will be 2 to the power. Where's the power? Power 32 minus 24. That will be your
Okay.
2 to the power. What should be the value?
See, which one? 8.
8. Correct. And what is the 2 to the power 8? 2 into 2. We both forgot mathematics.
Yes. Well, we should pass 6 to the 4
Uh,
times 2.
let's do it for 4 times first. That is 2 to 4. 4 into 2, 4 multiplied by 2 is your 8. And 8 multiplied by 2 is your 16. That means 16 into 6.
That,
16 multiplied by 16. That is 256. Into 16, that is 256. Correct?
yeah.
So the
Correct.
smallest block will be 256. That means 256 IP addresses. Okay, VPC with
Okay.
256 IP addresses.
Okay. Okay.
So it will be like 250 IP addresses. That means the size of your room. You are defining this size of your room is 256. Okay,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
so this will be the smallest block, but you need to have two more IP addresses. Let's say that is for your balcony. Okay, in that room there will be one balcony. For that you need to reserve for two IP addresses. Correct? So
Okay.
that will be 256 plus 2. That means
Mm,
258.
Eight. Yeah.
Okay. The smallest is this one, and the largest is this. That is slash
And
16.
max.
Okay. So slash
Mm-hmm.
16 means 32 minus 16. We have to do like this. 2 30 32 minus 16.
Mm-hmm.
What's the value? 32 minus 16 is, sorry,
It's 60 to the power of 60.
power 16. That's, I'm not going to calculate.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will be like 256 multiplied by 256 again. Okay, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this much of IP addresses will be the, so this will be, you can say, the largest room in the hotel. Correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Plus two IP addresses. After that you need to add plus two. So that will be
Okay.
this thing. Okay.
Okay.
So next is no additional charge for the largest CIDR subnet blocks. So this hotel is very much friendly. So it says either you are taking two room set or one room set, like 2 BHK or 3 BHK. Okay, the
Uh-huh.
cost will remain same. Okay,
Uh, okay.
so for the cost for this slash 24 or slash 16 CIDR, both will be same.
Uh,
Okay. Next is future growth. So let's say you are saying, the customer is saying that we will be having, I think, 16 IP addresses. That 16 APIs should be there. Okay. But
okay.
there may be some future growth. Okay. So what
Yeah.
we have to
That.
do, we have to multiply that with the 10. That means 160 APIs. Okay.
So you mean like future growth means like it's going to auto growth? So or
Future growth will be like, let's say you are having this VPC for this one. Mm, okay, let's say you are trying to find a house for rent. Clear?
okay.
For now, you are only person who is going to live in that house. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but you know that in 2 months you are going to get married.
Okay.
Okay, so what you know that for now my capacity or my the room that I want is one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, but for the future perspective you need two rooms.
Okay.
Okay, so that will call as a future growth. So you are thinking from the future perspective.
Okay.
Okay,
So
the requirement for now is 16, but you are thinking from a future perspective. Let's say your bank, you are having one bank, and for that bank you want to build 16 APIs for now, but you think that there could be some other APIs that may come in future. So you are thinking from
okay.
future perspective. Okay, so that
Okay.
means you need to multiply that with 10. That means 160 APIs. So you will book a room or you will have a VPC with 160 APIs.
So are
160
we
IP
going to
address.
additional like or the same place, or are you going to additional room? So
No, no, no,
to
no.
for
You
the
are not going to use additional room. While selecting a room, while selecting a house, let's say you are searching a house for a rent, from the starting
Mhm.
only, you are thinking from the future perspective. Like from after two
Oh,
months, I am going to get married. My family may come. My wife's family may come. So we need two rooms minimum. Correct. So you are
okay.
thinking from that perspective. So rather than taking one bedroom set, you are taking two bedroom set. Clear?
Okay. Yep. Yep. Clear now.
So we need to think from the future perspective. For that, we have to multiply the number with 10. That means, let's say the
Mm-hmm.
customer is saying we will be having 16 APIs, but in future we may have some more. So we will
Okay.
multiply that with 10, and then only we decide the size of the VPC. Okay. Then we
Okay.
will say the
Right.
size of the VPC should be 160. Okay. For
Okay.
the
Okay.
worst growth, let's say the customer is saying that this is just a smaller part that we are building for now. Okay, so there will be a huge part that is left that we will be doing next month or after 2 months. In
Mm-hmm.
that case, you have to multiply it by 100.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that means 1600 will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yep.
So it will be like, so if you are going to get married and your wife says that my parents are also going to live with me, okay,
Okay.
and let's say she says that her brother and her sister will also going to live with you guys. Okay, that
Oh.
at that time you need four rooms now, four bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that will be the worst case, worst growth.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. So next is properly sizing a VPC for an enterprise. Okay. So it is
Okay.
important to plan for the reasonable future growth of the number of IP addresses needed in the VPC. Okay. Because
Okay.
there is no option to resize an already created VPC. Right? If you have booked the room, that room the room size is a bit smaller, you cannot just destruct those walls and create that room big. Correct? You
Mm-hmm.
need to
Correct.
either go for another room only. So that's the same
Right.
case here. You cannot resize those VPCs. So
Okay. Okay.
you need to increase the CIDR block, the VPC must be removed or replaced, and all the Mule applications must then be redeployed to the that new VPC,
No.
which will
No.
create the service outage. Okay.
Okay.
MuleSoft recommends anticipating growth and exceeding possibility
So,
needs. That means,
sorry. Yeah. You
yeah,
share something I didn't see. Only see the future growth. I didn't see other pages.
future growth. Uh, which thing?
No, I
Like,
didn't see the page is not moving. So
yeah, yeah. Now it is moving.
now
Only that sheet is shared, that Word document.
I only see the future growth.
Okay, let me reshare my screen then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to again share my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible to you. Okay,
Okay.
is it?
No.
I've shared my screen.
Yeah, but it's black. Like black screen.
Okay, let me share it again. If this will not work, then you need to rejoin because only two slides are left. Only one slide basically.
Okay.
After that, we have summary. That's it. Sharing my screen again. Check now.
No. I think let
Hmm.
me
I think then you need to rejoin.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. John, you are there?
Yeah, can you try
Okay.
one more?
Yes, I'm trying now. I'm sharing my screen. Check now.
I don't know it yet. Let me okay, why is I'm screen it?
Is it visible?
Mhm. No, let me use my
Let me rejoin. Okay.
okay, I think this is my problem here.
Okay. It's
Let me,
yours. Okay.
let me use my hotspot
Okay. Yeah.
instead.
Yeah. I have stopped sharing my screen. Let me know once you are ready. Then only I will share again. It's only one slide.
No?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to share my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Check.
No.
Let me rejoin then. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Tatavallo, just.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, John. I'm sharing my screen again.
Okay. No, what else? Yeah, now it's working.
Perfect. Okay. So, properly sizing a VPC for an enterprise. Okay. So, it is important to
Uh-huh.
plan for a reasonable future growth of the number of IP addresses needed in the VPC that we were discussing earlier, that multiply by 10 or multiply by 100. Okay.
Okay.
So, because there is no option to resize an already created VPC. Okay? So, to increase the CIDR block, a VPC must be removed and replaced, and all
Oh,
the Mule applications must then redeployed to that new VPC, which may create the service outage. Okay,
okay.
that's why it is very much important to decide the size of VPC accordingly in the starting only. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
MuleSoft recommends anticipating growth and exceeding possible needs. Okay, so best
Mm.
practice is 10 multiply the maximum numbers of expected applications. That means, let's say the
Mm.
customer says he needs 16, 16 IP addresses, then you should always multiply that with 10. Okay, because
Okay.
let's say in
Okay.
future he may need 10 more APIs and then 10 more, like that. Okay, there is no additional charge for larger VPCs. Okay, the only
Mm-hmm.
downside is the largest set of IP addresses to manage. Okay, so the problem is whenever you keep that VPC size very large, then you have to manage those that size. That means there will be multiple IP addresses. Okay, let's say you are buying a house, you are renting a house for uh, 10 sorry 4 bedrooms. Okay, then you have to
Mm-hmm.
clean that house, that for managing that it will be costly, correct?
Yep, yep.
Same thing is here. So this is not the case. So the formula, this one I have already explained you. Okay, so this, okay,
Uh-huh.
you have to do minus 2 also. I forgot about this. So the formula is, you can write this out somewhere. Okay, so this is the
Okay.
formula. Based on this,
Mm-hmm.
we decide the block size, CIDR block
Okay.
size. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the smallest is 24 blocks. We already discussed, and greatest is this one. That's also we have already discussed. Okay. Oh, this is something else. This is the calculation. I'm not able to scroll down. It got freezed. My screen got freezed. Only the summary slide is left. Just a second. Yep.
Yeah, now it's wrapped up. Okay.
Yes. So this was the last slide, and we have the summary. So TLS secures the communication using asymmetric and symmetric cryptographic algorithm. Okay, one way and two way will be there. Okay,
Oh,
asymmetric cryptography is more expensive performance wise compared to the symmetric cryptography. Okay,
okay.
asymmetric means two way, and symmetric will be like a one way. Okay. Asymmetric
Mm,
cryptography is often used to exchange a symmetric key over the internet or the sign, certificate, or other digital documents. Okay. VPC and the dedicated load balancer can safely connect Cloud Hub environment with internal networks. Okay. VPC should be
mm,
sized with enough IP addresses to accommodate the expected growth. Okay. So now this is the
mm,
wrap up part. So wrap up part says that the course goals are closely aligned with the job tasks for
mm.
MCIA exam. Okay, so you can now go for MCIA exam, or you can first learn. Okay, first try to do hands on and first try to like go through the concepts and whatever notes you created. Okay, so MCIA exam, it's protocol closed book, 120 minutes exam, 58 multiple choice questions will be there. You can take the exam at testing center or online. It will be online only basically. Okay. So this class
Okay.
includes two attempts of the exam. So not this
It's
class
freeze.
basically.
So, do you show me something? It's freeze in summary. Unable to see the
Yeah,
wrap
this
up.
is not actually for you. This is not actually for you.
Okay, okay. All right.
Okay. So this is not for you basically. This is for whoever is taking the this training from MuleSoft directly, basically. Okay. So these are
Okay,
the
okay.
instructions for them. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay.